There are anime that come out once in a while and reminds you why you're an anime fan. It makes you appreciate the sea of mediocrity you go through just to find that one gem. And that gem for me was Takopi's Original Sin. When you're an anime fan for as long as I have been, sometimes it's kind of hard to find a show that has that unique feel to it, that makes you feel that you're watching something that you've never watched before. And I'm glad to say Takopi's Original Sin was that for me. From the art style to the animation, how fluid it was, it just tells you the staff behind this work are treating this with passion, and it massively contributed to the freshness of this anime. But the story is the backbone of it all. I was familiar with Takopi's Original Sin before the anime came out, but I've never read the manga. I was familiar with it because back when it was coming out weekly on Jump Plus, people were raving about it and were saying it was a really sad story. Also, the cover page of the volume of a young girl in tears with her clothes in tatters told me that this was going to be a very depressing story. And looking back at it now, I was not far from it. I had the manga on my to read list, but the anime came out before I had the chance to read it, and I opted to watch the anime instead. But I feared it was going to be one of those situations where the adaptation was bad and I was experiencing an inferior version of the story. But my fear was for nothing, and I experienced something I'm confident in saying is a masterpiece. But there are some people that don't feel the way, and I'm going to be talking about it all. But before you go any further into the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I talk all things manga and anime, and without further ado, let's get back into it. The story of Takopi's Original Sin is about an alien named Takopi who meets a very depressed girl called Shizuka and tries to make her happy. But the twist here is that Takopi's a very naive alien who doesn't understand human ways, so from the get-go the premise is set to create chemical reactions that are bound to take us into many interesting avenues, and it does it in the most horrible of ways. We see Shizuka hang herself. And from what I hear from manga readers, the anime didn't shy away from this gruesome scene, so kudos to the staff again. But man, I knew the story would be a depressing one, but I did not think it would go this far. Shizuka telling Takopi that her dog means the world to her and going home on a positive note after saying goodbye to Takopi, and immediately cutting away to her beat up and holding her dog's collar the next day was heavy to watch. And Takopi, being the naive person he is, hands her a rope of all things. This was the scene I think that got me and many others to take note of the show. And I love how we came to know about Shizuka's situation. I'm talking about the scene where Takopi first visits Shizuka's home, and in a simple dialogue we come to understand what sort of dire situation she is in. And that is when she mentions her father left her and her mom, and that her mom is an escort. Just listening to that depressed me. Add to that she's getting bullied at school. This may appear as a full-on misery show, and some people might have thought it was going to be just that and stopped watching, because I know some people who did, but that's obviously not the case. When we learned that Takopi's camera could rewind time, boy did I have a massive sense of relief, because it gave me hope, and it also brought some sense of safety. It makes you hope that Takopi would fix things by getting involved in her life at school. It looked like that at first, with Takopi giving Shizuka answers to questions that her teacher asks her. He helps her when Marina, her school bully, throws her bag out the window, and it looks like everything is smooth sailing with Takopi by Shizuka's side. But this only served to anger Marina more. And that scene where Marina was waiting for Shizuka behind the school and Takopi takes her place was immaculate, because we see Takopi for the first time truly understand what he's dealing with. I thought at this point Takopi would have fully developed out of his naive nature, but that didn't happen. He was just terrified instead, which was more realistic. And then we have the whole ordeal with Chappie, where Marina gets her way with him no matter what. Chappie being Shizuka's dog. Whatever Takopi does, the inevitable always arrives and Chappie gets taken away and put down. And this is not good for Shizuka because she considers Chappie to be her everything. And we get to that scene where Takopi accidentally kills Marina and Azuma finds out and they try to cover it up. And this is where we get into Azuma's character arc, which was one of my favorites in this story. Azuma has a people-pleasing problem, and that is mainly due to his relationship with his mom. Shock horror, all the adults are terrible in this anime. The way his mom is unable to appreciate her son's efforts no matter how hard he works has created a psychological people-pleasing problem in Azuma. And when the girl who looks like his mom of all people asks him to cover up a murder, he obliges. Azuma is living a stressful life as it is, with his mom putting all expectations on him after his brother decided to take it easy with the responsibilities of the family. And now he has to cover up a murder. And it is in this part of the story for the first time that we see the dark side of Shizuka. And that is when she asks Azuma to take the fall for the murder of Marina. And boy, was that scene shocking, and I didn't see it coming at all. And just added another layer to Shizuka's character, that she is not a person without faults and has her dark side as well. Azuma now has a lot of burden on him and can't hold it in anymore, and he bursts and lets everything out in that touching scene with his brother. Azuma just lays it all out, the problem he has with his mom and his brother consoles him. And even if things are not all good, this was a massive step towards something good for Azuma, and he makes the right decision not to take the fall for Marina's death. That was such a good scene and I really liked it. And this would be the catalyst for one of the most gruesome scenes in this show, and that is when Shizuka goes to her dad's place in Tokyo because she has been falsely told by her mom that her dog Chappie was with her dad in Tokyo, when in reality she has been falsely told by her mom that her dog Chappie was with her dad in Tokyo, when in reality he had been put down because of Marina's scheming. And Shizuka makes it all the way to Tokyo and gets to meet her dad at their front door. And the man acts as if he doesn't know her and has a whole other family. And man, Shizuka just can't catch a break. She has been through a lot, but I love the way the show doesn't fully paint Shizuka as this person without faults. She has her dark sides as well, with how she attempted to manipulate Azuma to take the fall for Marina's death. Also, one scene I particularly liked in this story and that I thought was much needed was when Azuma explained to Takopi that humans could be good and bad at the same time. I thought that was a very important lesson for Takopi to understand the complexities of humans, because almost all the problems in the story started because of Takopi's meddling with little understanding. Also, that scene where Shizuka crashes out and starts beating up Takopi, and man, Takopi with his character design and that cute voice acting getting this kind of abuse was very tough to watch. When I watched that scene where Shizuka was venting all her frustrations on Takopi while she was beating him up and he just takes it, man, that was really emotional. Especially the things she were venting about, like no one showing up for her on Parents' Day, or that the fact her dad acted like he doesn't know her, or even that no one tells her that she smells at home, so how was she supposed to fix that problem when she gets bullied for it at school even when her parents don't point it out. Also, after that, when Takopi sacrificed himself since his memories came back and remembered his other ability, and Shizuka saying she will not have anyone if even him goes away, man, I really felt that, because we see them just hanging out after her venting and her considering him one of the important people in her life. It was so very touching, because all the times when Shizuka was saying all those stuff about having no one, I was like, what about Takopi? But it made me feel good knowing and hearing that she cares for Takopi as well. And the ending, the main theme I took away is talking. Talk to each other and you will come to an understanding, or having someone to hear you out is very important. But if the ending seems kind of abrupt and simple to some people, I understand as well, because it felt like it. I'm on the camp that really likes the ending. It makes you think that Takopi was going back in time and you're like, you've gone back 1,000 times, Takopi, and it didn't work. But it subverted my expectations and he sacrificed himself for his sin. Takopi's last final act for Shizuka was living her life and making sure to go back to a time she never met him. Man, I feel so bad for Takopi. He's just a sweet, innocent little thing and he has to die. That hurt, I'm not gonna lie. The actual matter of it all was that this story is trying to tell us that having someone be there for you is enough. Even the lyrics of the opening song says, if I could tell someone that I'm hurting or lonely, I wouldn't need magic. This show is a masterpiece for me. And again, I know there are some people that don't feel this way because they didn't like the ending, but it was perfect for me. People expected some grand messed up stuff going along the lines of the whole show, but the fact that the solution was just a simple thing as having someone be there for you and hear you out was awesome. Also for Azuma at the ending, I loved that he made friends because it happened for him naturally and not just because he wanted to save them or they looked like his mom. I really liked his conclusion. If everyone was honest with each other and talked with each other, all the problems in life wouldn't exist or wouldn't be as worse, and that's a beautiful theme. If you've made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will mean a lot, and with that said, see you guys in the next one.